We about to go inside to the studio, work on Pretty Ugly, mastering, so we can lock it up. I can get it to you. Y'all can let me know what y'all think about that.
All of my years, I was the one with the fewest friends. All of my peers have fallen to an end. Or a worse affair, but to no avail. Come and return the favor on them like a lost affair. Do some pound, try do some pound. Be grinning over here, my nigga. Now break that down. Oh, the birds, let them fly, they still singing. We put the word up on the curve, that's why my phone's ringing. And it ain't stopped yet.
Ark has pretty much always just been my name. Ark is my name. And then the God Given was just because all the MCs that came before me had these great names. LL Cool J, MC Hammer. Like, it was all so descriptive. And, like, nobody taught hip-hop to me. I found it on my own. So at that time, I just felt like I had to have this incredible name. And the only thing I could think of was something related to the Bible, because that was my background heavily. And it was like Ark Proverbs, I think, to begin with in the early days. Like, I was Ark Proverbs or something, because I thought that's what I was giving people, Proverbs, you know what I'm saying? But God Given, that's what God gave me, you know what I'm saying? Ark the God Given. Everybody giving something from God, if not just the breath in your body, you know what I'm saying? So whatever God has given me, I'm capable of doing, I'm going to do. Period.
Hey, numbers in my throat made from the pressures of a world so cold. Might go platinum, might go gold.
Do not adjust your screens. This is not a test. This is not a mistake. This is your TV on real. I'm Ark the God Given MC. It started with a dream that I had. I had it since a child, conducting illusions into sounds with the only instrument I know how, my imagination, taking me to faraway places. My childhood, my family, my situation, and the environment I grew up in influenced everything I said then and now. My grandmother used to play the organ, and she played Mahalia every day. My grandpa was the deacon at the church, so he would record all of the sermons. Everything the preacher said sounded like poetry. Honestly, I think what makes me different is my ability to be patient and quiet and okay with other people's misunderstandings. You know what I'm saying? Because I honestly feel like I'm not God, but I'm a part of God. Just like my hand is a part of my entire body. Everybody in the world is a body part of God. They just don't realize it. And I feel like I realize it, I accept it. You know what I'm saying? I expect my responsibility in that. And I understand my human side too, to fuck up that other side. You know what I'm saying? So my ability to be honest with myself and real with myself and people around me, without you having to invest some type of trust in me or something. You know what I'm saying? I think really that's what makes me different. The only hip-hop I knew of was at the neighbor's house. Whenever I could sneak away, I would listen. Wait, that was a question, right?
Kind of. You kind of danced around it.
What'd you say? The first tapes I ever heard was Bone Thugs and Harmony, the Fugees, and Ghetto Boys. In that order. My mom wanted a better life for me and my sister and moved to Cali to make that happen. So while she was gone, I stayed with my grandparents. Being raised by literally 2 generations ahead of you alters your perception a great deal. It's like your morals are antique in a time that's forgotten most of them. For the most part, the only thing you should take away from me is just like my ability to be honest with y'all. And I mean, that's you, whoever listening, you know what I'm saying? If you ever seen my Twitter or my Facebook, you know I'm not one of those people to get numbers or give a fuck about it, you know what I'm saying? I'm really just trying to be as real as I can be. I pretty much guided myself thus far, so I think I'm raising a pretty decent human being. I think my mom agrees.
My poetry isn't like rap poetry or conscious rap. That's pretty much how I started writing poetry. My mom sat me down and taught me how to write when I was real young. So I learned how to spell, thus learning how to read real early. I was into people like Nikki Giovanni, Maya Angelou, Sapphire, Shakespeare. My uncle would take me up to the library every Wednesday. I would spend the first few hours filling out raffle tickets for the theater. My uncle would pick me up and take me to the library every Wednesday. I spent the first few hours filling out raffles for the theater tickets. I would always win because I would always fill in all the registrations. And I always went with a teacher. I took my grandma once. That was one of the best times of my life. I think we saw Indian in the cupboard, something like that. I had money at some point, I must have had, because I would buy CDs. And it wasn't like I was buying CDs based on ratings, mic stars, or followers, or YouTube views. I was buying CDs based on the cover, just to how it looked. And that's kind of how I found some of the artists that I love most. The ones that I watch closely anyway, like Joe Budden, Chaos, Floetry, Jazzy Fat Nasties, Mos Def, Jean Grey, Talib Kweli. They pretty much found me. I don't have a fashion sense. I have more of a sense of self. That's to say, ignorance is bliss in a sense. I lived from Houston to Cali, to Tennessee to New Jersey, Virginia to Italy. I don't know what that makes of me, but I know it does.
Tell us about the first time you heard about Ark.
Man, let me see. First time I heard about my dad, everybody was like, man, yeah, man, we checked out this girl named Ark the God. I was like, Ark the God? The fuck is Ark the God? Until I heard a motherfucking spit, and I'm like, oh, okay. I get that.
Knowing what she sounds like for a while, being that our studio is right next door to the studio that she normally records at, always like, man, this is a tight female artist over there, pretty going hard, you know. So meeting her was like, wow, that's what she looks like. I put a face with the sound of the voice that I was hearing, and it just sort of meshed well. And meeting her was like, why didn't I meet you earlier? You know what I mean? But I'm one that understands everything happened for a reason. But with her, it's a pretty good thing. Even though we haven't really done too much work together, it feels like we have, you know what I mean? So I look forward to working with her more in the future.
Okay, I mean, aside from me putting out Pretty Ugly, I'm sure to bring you more music. Like I said, I do have a new way of giving you media because I have had issues before where I've lost a great experience with somebody because the CD didn't work or they don't have a CD player. So I have y'all this time, like I said, but all in saying that, I just need y'all to support and just stay alert as to what I'm doing, and I'm going to do everything I can to stay in your face and make sure you understand that I'm out here on behalf of everybody who believes in what I believe in and doing all that I can and finding every penny I can rub together to make it happen. So if you support that and believe in it just as much as I do, please look forward to whoisart.com and donate, man.
We had a video coming on in slow motion of that shit.
Gangnam Style.